Mike McCarthy is Steelers head coach. We did the research on this, and it is true. He's a Pittsburgh native. Trust us on it. We looked it up. Aaron Rodgers not playing. He was really disappointed the game wasn't in Lambeau. Jordan Love is playing. All right, so here we go. Starting quarterback alert. Starting quarterback. And guess who he goes to? Jaden Reed. That's a pretty pass over the middle. Jordan Love finished 3 for 5 for 18 yards in one series. We'll take it, get off the field. Now, the Steelers, as I mentioned, didn't play their starter. So Will Howard gets to come in. Last year's 6th rounder out of Ohio State. We watched him play a lot in college. And he's going to get, guess who? Bobby Tonyan. Got it. On the Steelers now. Steelers would score on the next play. A Lou Nichols carry to go up 7-3. Guess what? Drew Aller, who everyone loves. And it's like, oh, this is guy. When Rodgers is gone next year, this is our day one starter. I mean, he did look really good for one night in August. I have to tell you that. I was very impressed. There's a touchdown. I don't mind it. Mason Rudolph was on the sideline, but we're talking a lot about Drew Aller, who finished 10 of 13. Look at it. Look at the top of the yellow. 153 and 2 touchdowns. What it doesn't show you there is he also ran for 2 touchdowns. So Drew Aller on a quiet night in August had 4 touchdowns, and he got everybody very excited. But in the meantime, I mentioned Jordan Love. He matters. He's huge. He played last night, and here's what he had to say after.
It's always good to just be in the game, have that game environment, that feel, be live again as a quarterback. We did a couple good things, had a 3rd down conversion. Obviously you want to end the drive with a touchdown. We weren't able to do that, but some good stuff to, learn from, grow from. Obviously, we're able to go against a new defense, some new looks. So it would be good stuff to learn from for all of us.
Okay, Packers-Steelers obviously had some juice because of all the people overlap. But let's look at the last 5 years of specifically in the NFC North. The Packers last won this division in 2021. Ton of turnover at the top of the North. This is the longest drought, 4 years that it's gone for the Packers to not win this division since they went and won it 98 to 2001. So, Manti, you look at what Jordan Love can do. You know what the Packers could do with their head coach and their defense, and Michael Parsons returning whenever he does. Mm-hmm. How did the Packers regain the throne as kings of the NFC North?
Well, a lot of it's going to depend on their defense. You know what Jordan Love, and when you watch Jordan Love, he's just one of those guys that when he throws the ball, you're like, you were meant to play quarterback. It's just, there's a beautiful motion to that. What I did like last night about their operation was when I see an offense come out of the huddle, run to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball, that the outfit just looked good. It looked crisp. Their best player yesterday, in my opinion, was Trey Smack. There's a sixth-round kicker out of Florida. They have one of those. In a time where there's a Cam Little and Brandon Aubrey, they got themselves a kicker. But their defense, again, is where that's what's going to have to carry them. And I was very impressed by Jonathan Gannon, their new defensive coordinator, because when he did get the job, he talked a lot about, I'm going to adjust to my personnel. Jonathan Gannon, as a defensive coordinator, doesn't blitz. Well, last night, I saw blitzing. Last night, I saw a mug front. A mug front is when you see all the linebackers come to the line of scrimmage and you have like 7 guys lined up at the line of scrimmage. You really don't see that in preseason. Some defensive coordinators want to keep their stuff under wraps. Well, as you see, number 27, that's a DB. That's not a DN. He's coming to blitz the quarterback. So Jonathan Gannon practiced what he preached. Jonathan Gannon did what he said he was going to do when he became the defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. He said, hey, listen, what did you guys do well last year? That was get exotic fronts and blitz the quarterback, and that's what we saw last night. So he needs to continue to do that because, as we know, KB, from this training camp, Michael Parsons isn't going to be available until later on in the season. So keep that pressure, keep that mentality, and if he continues to structure this thing around his players, I think their defense will do pretty good in this division, KB.
Yeah, I think Micah, what was he saying to Stacey Dales and Brian Baldinger? October is the best case scenario. Mm-hmm. I hope for November, just for the sake of his health. But I know who's going to be day one in September, and it's Jordan Love. And I just wonder if Jordan Love is about to have a special season. And I mean like a very, very special season. I feel like if you really follow the stuff as closely as we do, the training camp reports, the boots on the ground, all of that, I feel like if we were to end training camp and do like a first team all vibes, I feel like Jordan Love could be the starting quarterback of the first team all vibes. I just feel like everyone who's been in Green Bay, whether it's the Green Bay people or people who don't typically cover Green Bay who are visiting, come away impressed with him. They're just like, Jordan Love looks special. Jordan Love looks comfortable. Jordan Love's never looked better. You know, he come out last night and plays one series and he was fine. Our takeaway from that is great. He looks sharp. But I'm looking at the broader thing of it over the last 2 weeks, over the next 2 weeks. I don't think I've read anything that's negative or even really neutral about Jordan Love. It seems that the people who get on the plane or the bus or the rented car and they go to Green Bay come away and go to their laptops and their phones and are like, wow, number 10 really pops. So listen, he's going to have to do it. This is a guy who sat there and watched them be knocked off the Bears pack last year and lost to the Bears twice and watched this alleged Caleb Williams ascension. It would be pretty cool in the script writing sense if this was the bounce back year for the Packers and they reclaimed the North because Jordan Love said, okay, you can talk as much as you want about Caleb. You're talking about Kyler more than me. Like, I am going to not reintroduce myself as the best quarterback in the North this year. All the vibes are really, really good, but vibes are vibes. It's August 14th. We'll see week 1.
And, you know, to build off of that Jordan Love conversation about vibes, it seems like it's the same vibe for me. And when I watch Jordan Love play the past few years as a quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, he reminds me a lot about Drake May, where he doesn't have a go-to wide receiver. Every year, it seems like it's a different guy. Romeo Doubs was his wide receiver 1. Christian Watson is his wide receiver 1 sometimes. Matter of fact, his favorite target is Tucker Kraft. And just like Drake May, Hunter Henry was his favorite target his year 1. So in order for them to get over offensively, they need like an A.J. Brown.
Well, they need Matthew Golden to come on.
Yes, they need Matthew. That's why they drafted him in the first round.
Yeah.
Jamie, what was that, the first? You guys were at the draft?
Yeah, it was like the 14th pick or something like that. And Green Bay lost their collective minds.
Because that was the first wide receiver they drafted in the first round since I don't know when, right? So Jordan Love, in my opinion, doesn't have like that guy at wide receiver. Yeah. They hope Matthew Golden is it. Sometimes Christian Watson is it. Tucker Kraft seems to be his favorite target. If they can get a guy, I mean, maybe a little bit too late to do that, but I think that helps someone like Jordan Love a lot because the guy is great. Like I said, he's a great passer. He's smart. He's getting better. I just don't think he has that comfort yet to say, hey, on 3rd and 5, when I need this, when the game is on the line, I know that Devontae Adams is going to be out there and he's going to be open like how Aaron Rodgers had. He just doesn't have that yet.
Pretty happy, though, if he's on your fantasy roster. You know what I mean? ESPN fan. Here we go.
All right, here we go. We got the Bengals. Dexter Lawrence is there. He played 1 series, but Joe Burrow is in pads and playing. And watch how exciting this is. In a real game in 2026, Burrow, guess who? Chase! Right over the middle. All right, just leave Joe Burrow in. This is so exciting. I just want to see him play 4 quarters. He's safe. He's protected. Nothing can go wrong. Just oh no, get him out! Get him out! Get him out. Get him out of the game. He is sacked right there for a loss of 9 yards. Burrow finished 5 of 6 for 39 yards, sacked once, 2 series played. Joe Flacco, well into his 40s, playing in the preseason, going to Jack Endries for the touchdown. The Bengals would win. Burrow got sacked and threw that one to Chase. So we'll see more of him, or maybe we won't. Afterwards, Joe Burrow was talked about all over the nation yesterday, mostly because of the Commanders quarterback who used to be an LSU quarterback. Here's Joe Burrow, though, and let's see what he's wearing.
Getting some reps of real game-like operation is certainly beneficial. Getting the play in, getting the subs in, being down on the clock, knowing when to send the motions. You know, that's beneficial. You know, once you go through warm-ups, once you're out there, you get warm, you get into the flow, and then you just kind of want to stay out there, keep going. That's not where we're at, but as a player, you want to be out there playing.
Yeah, we're just trying to function on offense and be efficient. It's obviously want to come away with more than 3 points in the 2 drives that they were in, but there's going to be some positive things and some things that we'll work to correct.
Zach Taylor will be fired.
Bengals are it's a pickle for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? In Cincinnati, I work here too, Joe. What is that hat? Come on, man. Oh, it's tough. We don't like to see this from the Bengals, especially this early, because it leads to more questions than answers. Manti, what was your biggest takeaway from the game last night?
Well, you know what they were doing this offseason with the acquisitions they made on the defensive side of football. You know what they have on offense. And I was somebody that coming into this year, I was very optimistic about what the Cincinnati Bengals could be. And then you watch those first 2 drives, and you watch a defense kind of get driven on a little bit, and then if it wasn't for the ball hitting off Isaac Teslaw's helmet and jumping in the air, they don't get that turnover, but they do get the turnover. And then Joe Burrow gets sacked, and then there's a 3-and-out the next series by the defense, and then they get a field goal. And it's just so frustrating to me, guys, to watch a team that it should be better than this. Like, keep in mind, guys, the Lions didn't play anybody. They played their reserves. Amon-Ra St. Brown wasn't out there. Jameson Williams wasn't out there. Aiden Hutchinson wasn't rushing you, and you still couldn't block the guys. It is so frustrating to see a team that has what you think would be the potential to be this lethal, dynamic outfit, and yet every offseason, this is the product, right? Week 1 of last year, they played the Eagles. They couldn't stop a run against the Eagles. And you're watching version, 6.0, and I don't know who it's on. I don't know if it's a quarterback. I don't know if it's the head coach, but I'm always going to say, they just don't look ready. And it's not, I don't know what the training camp schedule is. I don't know what they're doing in training camp. But Zach Taylor has gone back and forth. Do I play my starters? Do I not play my starters? Oh, they're going to play a little bit. I thought they should have played the entire half by how the offense looked. It's just for him to pull them out after stalling the first series, only kicking a field goal the third series. KB, it's frustrating to me because of who they have on their roster, knowing Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, all of those guys. It should have been a better performance by the Cincinnati Bengals, and I just don't know who to put the blame on other than a whole bunch of people that should take accountability for the product that we saw yesterday.
Manta, you are heated, dude.
Yeah. Oh, bro.
Wow. Bro. I didn't know that was coming this morning. I feel like you're talking about Drake May and the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Manta, I respect the passion. I get it. And I understand. You know why? Because the Bengals preseason hits different than other teams' preseason. I understand what you're saying because there's a much bigger context and it feels like there's much bigger stakes. Here's the two things that you're weighing in the Bengals preseason, all right? You don't want to see Joe Burrow out there getting hit, okay? The things you're weighing are Joe Burrow has gotten hurt a lot, okay? But also, you guys always lose at the beginning of the season, and that is a huge storyline for Zach Taylor and for the Bengals. So it's like, of course we don't want to put Joe at risk, but we have to win, and we have to win early. It's not so much national as it really localized in Cincinnati that notoriously the Bengals get off to slow starts. And Zach Taylor takes a lot of crap for that. Why are you guys always bad in September? Why do you lose out of the gates? He hears that. And this is an important year for Zach Taylor. So I think it's we got to really, really be buttoned up in this preseason. Mm-hmm. They're opening 4 games. Bucks, Texans, Steelers, Jaguars. That's not great. And it's they kind of got to go 3-1. They got to go at least 2-2 in those 4 games. If they come out and go 1-3, the sky's going to be falling. So I think in this case, it's let's put Joe and Jamar et al. Out there because I'm so sick of this slow start thing. We're going to be buttoned up a little bit more. And then you put them out there and you risk getting them hit. So I think when you watch Bengals games, certainly watching last night, it hit a lot differently than a lot of the other games. The Steelers games was just playing backup quarterbacks. It's I feel like we're all kind of on the edge of our seat seeing A, is Burrow going to be safe? And B, are the Bengals going to be ready week 1?
You want them to take care of your own anxieties for you when watching this team. You want the offensive starters to be out there, specifically ones that are consistently ranked in the top 20 NFL player, top 100, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. We get it. You're incredible. But I think what Manta is trying to say is we want them to demand us to stay on the field. But after the third series last night, you're okay, enough. That was uncomfortable to watch.
It's like having a Ferrari and it's stuck in a driveway the whole time, and you visit the house, you're why is the Ferrari? And you're not using it the right way. It should be out on the road, revving up and down and sounding nice and looking nice. And yet you're not using it the way I think you should be using it. It's a frustrating product that you see every single year around this time. They have a slow start in the season. You're what needs to happen in order for these guys to blow people out by 40? Because what's on paper, they should be blowing people out by 40, especially what they got on the defense now, Jamie.
She's gone 2 for 2, put 7 on the board in each drive.
It should have been 1 drive, Jamie. Touchdown, you're done.
Especially considering, Kyle, in their division, there's been 3 other head coaches that had turnover this offseason. So surely those other teams are going to struggle, right? Like Packers, Steelers last night?
Let's find out. It's a great